There is a moment most men walk right past without realizing what just happened. She said something she had never told anyone before. She opened a door she keeps permanently locked, and he nodded, changed the subject, and moved on like it was nothing. She never opened that door again. Women are not careless with the things that matter to them. They have been hurt too many times for that. What they choose to share and who they choose to share it with is one of the most revealing things in female psychology. And most men miss it completely because they don't know what they're looking at when it's right in front of them. There are 5 specific things a woman shares only with a man she has already decided matters to her. Not likes, not finds attractive, decided matters. And if she's sharing these with you, she is not just being friendly. She is showing you something most men never get to see. Stay until number 4. That one, most men actively destroy it while it's happening, without ever realizing they did. 1. Her fears. A woman will laugh with anyone. She will flirt, carry on conversations, spend hours with men she feels absolutely nothing for. She is good at that. She has had to be. But her fears, those she protects like something irreplaceable, because they are. When she tells you what genuinely frightens her, not surface things, but the fears that live in the quiet, the ones she has never said out loud to most people. She is not making conversation. She is running a test she doesn't even know she's running. She is checking whether you are safe enough to hold something heavy. Most men fail this without realizing it. They immediately try to fix it. They offer solutions, logical answers, reassurances, all the things that make emotional discomfort go away faster. And in doing that, they communicate exactly the wrong thing. They tell her that her vulnerability makes them uncomfortable, that they need it gone. She didn't need it fixed. She needed a man who could sit inside the weight of what she said without flinching. A man whose first instinct wasn't to close the door she just opened. If you can do that, just that, she will feel something around you that she doesn't feel anywhere else, and she will keep coming back to it. 2. Her childhood. The past she brings up without being asked is never small talk. Childhood memories, especially the ones that surface unprompted in quiet moments between conversations, carry the emotional weight of everything that built her. Her first experience of being left, the love she watched growing up and decided she wanted or never wanted, the version of herself that existed before the world started telling her who to be. When she shows you those pieces, she is showing you where her patterns come from, the origin of her wounds, the parts she usually keeps protected. But here is what most men miss completely. She is not just sharing her past. She is watching what you do with it, whether you handle it with care, whether you actually remember the details she mentioned, whether you bring it up weeks later or never acknowledge it again. She is learning whether she gave that piece of herself to the right man. Most men forget within the hour. They treat her childhood story like an interesting fact and move on. She doesn't forget that they forgot. And that door she opened, it closes, quietly, without explanation. 3. Her real dreams. There is the version of her ambitions she tells people at parties. Safe, socially acceptable, easy to explain. And then there is the real one. The dream that feels too exposed to say out loud most of the time. The life she is quietly building toward, that she doesn't share with men she sees as temporary. That one only comes out when she has decided you are worth the risk of honesty. When she tells you that, she is placing you inside her future. The mistake men make here is predictable and devastating. She shares her dream, and within 30 seconds he is talking about his own goals, his own plans, his own version of an ambitious life. She listens. He doesn't notice he just failed something that mattered. The right move is far simpler than most men think. Ask more, talk less. Show her that what she wants for her own life is worth your complete, undivided attention. Because a woman who feels genuinely heard in her ambitions, not flattered, not agreed with, but actually heard, does not forget the man who did that. She compares every conversation she has after that to the one she had with him. 4. How love has hurt her before. This is the one most men destroy. When she tells you about the ways she has been broken before, what shattered her trust, what she learned never to let happen again, what she carries from relationships that didn't survive, she is not complaining about other men. She is drawing you a map. She is showing you exactly where she is fragile, exactly what would make her shut down, exactly what she needs you to understand about how to be around her heart. And most men hear this and do one of 3 things. They get competitive with her past. They get uncomfortable and change the subject quickly. Or worst of all, they store that information and use it later in ways that remind her she was right not to trust anyone. She told you because she decided you were different. A man who receives that information with nothing but calm, honest presence, who doesn't make her regret saying it, becomes the standard she measures everyone else against. Not because he was perfect, because he was safe at the moment it mattered most. 5. The thing she has never said out loud. There is always one more. Something that doesn't fit into any category. A belief she has never admitted anywhere. An experience that has lived inside her for years without ever being spoken. A feeling that feels too real, too strange, or too vulnerable to hand to most people. When that thing finally comes out, when she says it and the room gets quiet and she looks at you just slightly nervous, you are standing inside one of the rarest moments in human connection. Most men don't feel the weight of it. They respond casually because to them, it sounds like another sentence in a normal conversation. But she felt it the moment the words left her mouth. She is watching your reaction with everything she has. She is deciding in real time whether she just made a mistake. What you do in that moment either opens her completely or closes her permanently. There is no middle. There is no second chance at that specific door. She does not open like this with everyone. She has learned not to. She has given real pieces of herself to men who treated them like nothing and spent years quietly recovering from that. She knows exactly what it costs to be honest with someone. She doesn't spend that on men she has already decided don't matter. When she shares these 5 things with you, a decision has already been made. A quiet, serious decision that most men never even know was happening. The question was never whether she chose you. The question is whether you were paying enough attention to know it, and whether you handled it like a man who deserved what she just gave you.